Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Josh. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for clicking on my video, even if you clicked on it by accident. Oh well, thank you. And if you're not new here, thank you for giving me another chance. Thank you for stopping back by, period. Today, we are going to be watching Keith Lee on Taraji P. Henson and BET Awards incidents. I wasn't attacking her. Club Shay Shay. Shout out to Club Shay Shay. Let's go ahead and dive on in, baby, because I seen part of this. I heard what he had to say, but I wanted to react to the whole thing. I'm circling his head. I heard what Keith Lee had to say, but I wanted to react to the whole 13 minutes and 7 seconds, child. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
It's just some controversy with the Taraji P. Henson.
Oh, let's talk about it, Shannon.
What happened?
All right. So, again, these are things that I've never talked about, specifically because I like my family being on the forefront and I like the restaurant to be the main focus. The only time I do speak on it is when I feel like it's starting to affect my family or starting to affect the money that I bring in for my family. But like the details.
I know my face is blocking him. I mean, the camera angle be shifting and shit.
I've never gotten into details, so we'll get into details. So I had a conversation with BT before we had walked out or anything. We did a convention. It was like a foodie con or something, maybe like a week before, and we met one of the heads from BT there.
Okay.
And we did the BT Awards the year before. So when we met her, she was like, "Oh yeah, what y'all wearing to the BT Awards?" At this point, we didn't even have an invitation. So I'm like, I don't know, we not going. She like, what? Everybody would love to have y'all there. Y'all gotta be there. We love y'all so much. And this whole year we had.
Did he just say he been there before? He been to the BT Awards before?
And we met one of the heads from BT. It was like a foodie con or something, maybe like a week before, and we met one of the heads from BT there.
Okay.
And we did the BT Awards the year before. So when we met her, she was like, "Oh yeah, what y'all wearing to the BT Awards?" She like, what? Everybody would love to have y'all there. Y'all gotta be there. We love y'all so much. And this whole year we had worked with BT maybe like 3 or 4 times prior to this.
Okay.
And she was like, "Yeah, we love you. We want you here." Like we had a full conversation. They ended up getting us the tickets. We had front row tickets. We had the red carpet and all of that. I told her beforehand, the love that y'all say that y'all have for us, I don't feel it, because when y'all do mention us or y'all do bring us up in conversation, it's always the most negative things that you can possibly talk about.
Oh.
It's always like the drama, or like, it's never like we went to a restaurant and we was blessed enough to leave thousands of people at a restaurant that was about to close tomorrow, or like anything that was positive, and is 90%, I would like to think, is 90% positive what we do,
right.
10% of the bullshit.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of times it was the bullshit that was being brought up. So I had a conversation with her transparently about it, and we talked about it. We talked again before we went up into the award show. We was sitting backstage, and I was talking to one of the heads of BT, and I told her the same thing. And I was saying, you don't have to include us. I'm okay with being in the Sprinter van with my family and just eating food. That's more than enough for me. If you are gonna include us, include it from a place that y'all want us here, and not just because we viral or we food influencers that like are big right now. I was like, include it from a place of the love that you say that you have for us.
Right.
Because what I don't like is that you come to us every time you see me, it's immediately like, oh, we love you so much, we want to do this, we want to do that, and then nothing comes out of it, right?
Right.
So we go to the award show. We sitting behind DC. Young Fly. We sit next to, what's his name? No, the original seats that we were in. We would sit next to an older guy, and everybody was like being super rowdy, and me and him, we talking, we having conversations, we laughing with each other. I'm telling him, like, you ain't gotta worry about my wife standing up and twerking. We sitting here, we enjoying the show.
Right.
We laughing, we having a ball. So it's probably halfway through the show, a person from BET walks up, or a person from production walks up, and she says, "Hey, we about to switch your seats in a minute because we're doing a episode or we doing a segment to where we giving people their flowers, right? Mind you, I just talked to BT an hour ago, and I'm like, y'all don't have to do this. I'm okay sitting in these seats, having conversations with, I think his name was Dr. Bobby Jones. Now, yeah, we sit next to Dr. Bobby Jones. I'm like, this is more than enough for me. Like, I'm more than thankful just to be here. They like, no, we gonna sit you on the front row and we gonna give you your flowers. And we really wanna highlight you, we really wanna, and I'm saying all of this to the production lady, like, don't bring us up here with the bullshit. Like, I'm okay with sitting here. She's like, no, come on. So they come get us maybe like 10 minutes later. They put us in.
Yeah, he's a little too serious for me. No tea, no shade. Did he actually say that to the woman, to production? Don't bring us up here with the bullshit. I mean, cause at the end of the day, he's about to tell it. He's about to tell it, and I already know what happened. And if you know, you know. But it's like, at the end of the day, so basically, their original seats was not in the front row at all. I thought their seats was in the front row the whole time, but they just switched. Okay.
And Tyler, she was sitting there. She had got up and left, so they put us in Tyler's seats. Sit next to Tyler. We sit next to Jordan and what's
Michael B.
Jordan's
Jordan?
No, Jordan the Stallion. He's a guy from TikTok.
Okay.
He does like the
Jordan the
where he like turn his camera around. He in the bathroom and he like do like reaction videos. Me and Jordan look nothing alike. Again, Jordan 6'2", big scruffy beard. He got a curly afro. Me and Jordan are really friends too. That's what made all of this even crazier. So me and Jordan, we sitting there. Taraji come out, and this is the biggest thing that I want to get throughout this whole story. I didn't blame Taraji for 1 second because it was all production that was making things that didn't have to be made. They was making it a spectacle that had no business being a spectacle. So they come around, she's starting to do her segment. We're reading the prompter, and on the prompter is saying like, give Flajay her flowers, say this about Flajay, do this, that, and the third. So she read off of the prompter for Flajay specifically. She do like 2 or 3 more people. She come over to us, and she immediately walked past me, walked to Jordan, and she started talking to Jordan as if as Jordan was me. And I'm reading the prompter, and the prompter is saying like, tell Keith Lee, give Keith Lee his flowers, this, that, and the third. And she look at Jordan and she go, I bet you rate this award show 10 out of 10. And Jordan go, oh, no, that's him. Mind you, at this whole time, I'm not upset at Taraji at all. I'm like, I understand a whole bunch is going on. They just threw this on you. They didn't have to throw this on you. Again, we was okay sitting in the back. Like, they just made this a last minute ditch effort to give us our flowers. They had she come over, she like, oh, my bad. She immediately start like improving because again, this is a situation where it's a lot going on. So she starts saying like, you look good too. Even though my wife is sitting right here, she like, oh, you look good. Give him his flowers, this, that, and the third. And then she tell Jordan that he look good. And just a whole bunch of improv. She leave, me and Jordan looking at each other like, what just happened? Like, it was.
Yeah, I would have been like, hey, you look good too. Like, yes, like just.
The craziest thing, I'm sitting there like, you didn't have to do that. Like, my wife and I were more than content with just being in the moment. So,
sitting in the seats where we were, chilling, having a good time talking.
So in other words, he's probably going to say it. So in other words, because to me, it was an accident. To everyone, it was an accident. It's an accident, sir. And like, yes, it's improv. She did the improv moment. She fucked up. Nope, my bad, no. Because it's live and production moved y'all up front to give y'all flowers. It was meant for y'all. You said you was reading the prompter, give Keith Lee his flowers and shit. So that rose was meant for you. And yeah, it was hectic. However, he felt embarrassed. They felt embarrassed. That's just it. You felt embarrassed. That's what it's giving. And I remember he's gonna say what Taraji put on Twitter and shit. Sir, you felt embarrassed, and that's okay. How like his I think his ego, like, see, Taraji, that's what Taraji said. No tea, no shade. Your ego was bruised. Your ego was bruised. It was a complete and utter accident. BET wanted to honor you. However, yeah, it was production's fault, but it's a live event. It's a live show. And I'm pretty sure the Oscars, cause I'm thinking myself, see, I gotta unlearn. We all gotta unlearn stuff like that. Cause I was thinking like in the back of my head, ghetto and stuff like that. However, I'm pretty sure the Oscars is kind of like we don't know. We never know. You never know. We never know. We on the outside looking in. I'm pretty sure the Oscars, the Grammys, all that shit, all that white shit, is the same way. Hell, probably more hectic. However, and you know what? Also, I think it was. I really believe, no tea, no shade, Keith. I believe it really was your ego, because I mean, well, yeah, it was your ego because Taraji didn't know you, didn't know who you were, or your face is just not that familiar in her head. Like, no tea, no shade. And Jordan had something to say also. What happened? Hold on, Jordan, don't do that. Jordan the Stallion, what he said? Like, both of them, he said both of them looked at each other like, what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? It was an accident. That's what it was. At the end of the day, yeah, your wife. You talking about your wife sitting right there? Taraji don't want you, sir. Keith, Taraji doesn't want you. I think Taraji is actually married. I think. Okay, never mind.
You didn't have to do all of that. So
But you put us in that spot and F it up.
for no reason. Now that I open my phone, literally when I say 5 seconds after it happened, I open my phone, be the number one thing on Twitter. And it's like, Keith Lee looked so embarrassed. His wife looked humiliated. And his wife, she was flirting in front of his wife. She was this, that, and the third. And they was just dragging the situation out. And I took the road.
Sir, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have opened up. You shouldn't have looked on Twitter, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you shouldn't have looked on Twitter.
That they gave me, I dropped it on the floor. The reason I dropped it on the floor, because this whole time, I'm like, that's not for me. That wasn't meant for me. What was meant for me was to sit there where I was sitting at and mind my business. Because if it was meant for me, it would have went just as smooth as everything else was going. Like I said, we were sitting there laughing, smiling, having fun. When I dropped the rose, I was speaking directly to production. Like, don't do this again. If we gonna come and we gonna enjoy the Royal Show, enjoy it how we had the conversation. Mind you, I know all of this is happening because I had the conversation with them before. But people online, they just see, oh, he dropped the rose, he talking directly about Taraji.
And that's on you, because you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. That's on you. I definitely thought you was talking about Taraji too, until more and more, until Taraji came out and this and the third. So yeah, you shouldn't. That's on you, sir. And again, it was an accident, and that rose was meant for you. You was reading the teleprompter. You read the teleprompter. Give Keith his rose. What Taraji said with that, got what you doing, that got that girl. What Taraji said, and I bet what you rate this. That was meant for you. It was an accident.
So they make it into a huge thing of like me disrespecting her, this, that, and third. So I take the video down because I am a supporter of Black women and I'm a supporter of us as a people. And to see her on stage killing it the way she killed it, I didn't want that to be clouded by the unnecessary bullshit. So I took the video down specifically for that reason. But then, you know, people dig into that. They're like, why he take the video down? It's because people was getting on his head and this and the third. So
You shouldn't have
Taraji
made
come
it
out
in the
and she
first
said,
place.
yeah, his ego was hurt. And the whole time, I'm like, Taraji, I didn't have no issue. I didn't have no problem with you. If anything, I feel like she should have understood that I was talking directly to production. Because I know the situation that you was in. We was in it together. We was literally...
Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Keith, if you would not have made that video in the first place, I think it would have blew over. I think it would have blew over. I think it would have, like, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. Excuse me. And Taraji, I think because he said people was talking about flirting with him in front of his wife, like, "Oh, y'all shut up with that." And that's another thing, Keith. Don't you? How long has Keith been doing few food reviews and shit? Ignore what people say. Ignore the bad comments. You should not have opened up your phone. Or then again, you should not have made that video. That rose was meant for you. So at the end of the day, listening to your explanation, dude, it's still, oh my goodness. Listening to your explanation and all that shit, it was still, yes, it was production's fault. However, that rose was still meant for you. It was a mistake, an accident, oopsie daisies. So yes, your ego was hurt. She's right about that. Your ego was hurt. But at the same time, she still handed you that rose. It wasn't like it was a different rose. It was that same rose. She was talking to Jordan. It was like, oops. And you still fine too. You still fine, and handed it to you. The rose is meant for you. Okay.
looking at the prompter and the teleprompter together, so I understand that it was nothing that she did. It just was a spare of the moment kind of thing. And I felt like she would understand that I wasn't coming from a place of attacking her. But it was one of those things where it's like, it is what it is. I still got love for Taraji. I never had no ill will in my heart for her. I still got love for BT. That's why I said we doing the BT thing. Because I called them, we had I still haven't had a conversation with Taraji, but BT called me and we had a full conversation. I told them exactly how I felt and they apologized and they was like, we understand that it was super last minute and next time we do something, we gonna plan it out and we actually gonna think about it and make it a heartfelt thing if we gonna actually do it.
But how did it make you feel for probably the first time since you started and you became this internet sensation that you had people kind of come for you? How did you handle it? How did your wife handle it? Because you guys are a package deal.
I was pissed off, but I was pissed off from a perspective of it was being made as if I was going at Taraji. I don't care what people say about me. People been talking about me my whole life. So I told her, I've always been the one that stick up for myself. So that part in my head, again, I don't see myself like that anyway. Right. So you can say he ain't a celebrity, he want to be a celebrity. I want to be Keith. I want to be nothing else. Right. So when those comments was coming, I wasn't paying no attention to it. Only time I ever got upset is when people was like, he's down in black women. He's taking away from the shine of a black woman in a black woman's time where she was doing something amazing for us and pushing the culture forward. That's when I was getting pissed off. Because I didn't want it to be misconstrued that I was coming to her. My family will tell you, I literally was having conversations with them and I was like, bro, if they just leave her out of this, and then when she started getting mad at me, I'm like, why are we going at it? Like, why is it always spun to where it's two of us that look the same, getting into altercation that don't need to be had?
Would you have felt better had she just, if she would have picked up the phone or somebody could have put you guys in contact with each other so you guys could talk to this thing?
1,000%. Yeah.
Man to woman?
Rather than just saying like, oh, his ego hurt. Like, I feel like but again.
Again, no tea, no shade. Keith, you shouldn't have picked your ego was hurt. However, you shouldn't have picked up that phone because you made it seem as if you was talking about Taraji. You shouldn't have hit record. But okay, yeah, I do believe it, like that it was no ill will. I mean, like I ain't trying to say he lying. Yeah, like, okay, it was no ill will towards Taraji. Yes, it was all production's fault. It was all production's fault. Taraji had to do. Taraji got to remember all this shit, and she had to do wardrobe change. I know she opened up with Not Like Us and shit like that. I know people talked about that. And yeah, just again, no tea, no shade. No tea, no shade. Keith, it's your fault. You should not have pressed record. You shouldn't have pressed record. You should have just kept, you should have just, because it was your ego. Because you said people have been talking about you all your life. You can defend yourself. However, like, then they started talking about, what was it? Then they started talking about you looked on Twitter. You looked on Twitter. People talk about Taraji flirting with your wife. And they looked embarrassed. Yeah, saying that y'all looked embarrassed. Okay, so I guess people were technically starting to talk about his wife and shit. So that's you shouldn't have looked on Twitter. You should have looked on Twitter when the whole shit was over. When everything was over, said and done with.
I don't expect anything because we don't have no personal relationship.
Right.
I understand it was just as stressful for her to get all of those comments and getting all of the feedback. And so just as stressful, and again, it was clouding what she was doing that night.
Right.
So I understand the frustration from her end because she like, I'm doing something that I've always dreamed about doing and getting, because she came out publicly about what she was doing that night.
Right.
So the feedback. And so just as stressful, and again, it was clouding what she was doing that night.
Right.
So I understand the frustration from her end because she like, I'm doing something that I've always dreamed about doing and getting, because she came out publicly about her not getting the respect that she deserves.
Right.
And she was getting the respect that she deserved that night, and it got clouded by something as stupid as dropping a rose. So I feel like from her perspective, I fully understand. Like I said, I don't hold no ill will or no feelings towards her. It's one thing that I did want to talk about.
What's up?
Yeah, something as stupid of you dropping the rose is your fault.
Think about it. The BET Awards. Again, I've never spoke on this before. There was a video that came out of a guy walking up in Gerald Houston. He walk around with the cameras, the cameras on his glasses, and he purposely mistakes people for other people. And he did it to us, and he called me DDG, and he walked up, and it turned into like a fiasco of us like actually getting into it. I wanted to make it very clear because again, I never spoke on it. I didn't have no problem with Gerald. Gerald grabbed me.
Right.
He walked up the thing and he grabbed my waist.
Right.
And I was like, hey, don't do that.
Right.
It's the difference between him saying, oh, you DDG. I'm the type to laugh about that. I don't care about
No, I'm not
people
DDG.
trolling.
But
Yeah, but I don't care about people trolling.
Yeah, but
me and
don't touch
DDG stood next to each other. He came, I just met his mama, was that last week, and my whole family said we look alike. So from that part, I was like, I can laugh about it. I just don't like being touched.
Is the touching part.
So I wanted to make that very clear. I think that was one of my biggest things I wanted to get off while we doing this, is that, like, if you trolling, you trolling. I get that. I just don't like being touched, bro. Like, I think that comes from me being a fighter my whole life and from just anxiety in general and me being outside and really trying to get to that space of being comfortable in those spaces of 1,000 people around us and taking pictures and whatnot. I'm getting a lot better, and I do pride myself on that. It's just the touching.
Right.
That takes me immediately back to, like, get away from me. Like, don't grab me.
Troll, but keep your hands to yourself.
Exactly. But
Yeah, not just you don't like being touched. You don't like being touched. Don't touch anybody. Like what Shannon just said. Don't put your hands on anybody.
was fun to, like, I was mad that he was calling me DDG and I wanted to be a celebrity and I want him to know who I am, and I was mad he didn't know. I didn't care about none of that. I don't care if you know who I am. God know who I am, man. My family know who I am. That's what matters the most to me.
Go James and the Lakers are back putting on a show, and you know I got to get the best deal on tickets. That's why I need to tell you about my sponsor, SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more sports. I'm excited to go see the Lakers.
And I'm tired. At the last damn minute, Shannon, he put that ad, or they put that ad at the last damn minute. I'm tired. Girl, shout out to Shannon. Shout out to Keith Lee. Shout out to the BT Awards. Shout out to Taraji P. Henson. We're all. Yes, y'all go support. If y'all wanna buy some tickets for a Kendrick Lamar show and shit, go to SeatGeek. Go use that code. Go support him. Shout out to Club Shay Shay. Shout out to Club Shy Shy. All that shit. But yeah, that's hold on, I'm gonna have to read that later. But yeah, that was just that's a mess. And us from the outside looking in, I know I done said it 2-3 times. From the outside looking in, Mr. Lee, you should not have hit record on your phone. You should know to ignore what people say unless like, well, yeah, like they pretty much saying something about your wife, saying something about Taraji and stuff. You could have explained that after the show. And yeah, you saying like you said it, a stupid little thing or dropping the rose, throwing the rose, whatever. Yes, sir, that's your fault. No tea, no shade. That's your fault. You did that. It's all your no tea, no shade, Mr. Lee. Cause I'm telling you, y'all, if y'all think about it, you should not have pressed record. It would have blew over. It would have trended for that night, maybe the next night, maybe the next day. However, it would have been over and done with. It would have trended for a day and a half. But you made it trend for, I think, the whole week or half a week or something. I don't want to say 2 weeks. I don't want to say a week and a half, but it trended for a while. People was talking about you for a while. So yes, we got the full story. However, the full story is your fault. Taraji was right. It was your ego. Your ego was bruised. Excuse me. But anyways, that was my reaction to that. Y'all go over there and support him and shit. Go like, comment, share, subscribe if you want to. Also like, comment, share, subscribe to this video if you want. If you damn bitch, if you want to. I can't make y'all do shit that y'all don't want to do. So yes, however, y'all have yourselves a great day, great night. Thank y'all for clicking on this video. Wherever y'all are in the world, y'all take care of yourselves, baby. Take care of yourselves. Love yourselves, okay? Yes, take care of yourselves. Love yourselves, okay? Love yourselves first. Love yourself first. Shit. Put yourself first. First and foremost. Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and verbally, okay? Take care of yourselves. And see y'all later. Bye-bye.